The word validation gets thrown around a lot in the startup space, and it's become pretty flaky in my opinion. A lot of people see validating their idea as having beers with their mates, explaining and selling what the idea is to them, and them saying, oh, that's incredible, that's a great idea. That's not validation. Your friends and your mum and your cat telling you that you've got a great idea is not actually proof that the market wants a product or service like what you're thinking about bringing to it. So in this video, I want to give you a few tips on how you can actually validate your idea in a non-biased way before you even build a product, and this plays a huge part in whether or not you're actually going to get your first investors on board so that you can start your startup. So first one, Facebook groups. A lot of people, a lot of the ideas that we hear at Pitch Black are to do with a community, something about connecting people, or some sort of peer-to-peer marketplace, so consumers trading some sort of product between each other. So plenty of valid ideas in that space, there's nothing wrong with it. You don't need a software app or website to start that idea. You can start that idea the second you finish watching this video. Start a Facebook group in the suburb that you live in and manually get your friends in there and manually build a community from scratch to get people to trade between each other. You won't make any money, you won't be able to take a cut. If it's a community, no money will change hands at all, but you're actually proving that people want to take part in a community or a marketplace like that. If you build up a community of hundreds of people following the behavior that you think that people want to do, that's massive proof to take to an investor to say, I know people want a product like this because I have a shitty Facebook group and they're doing it, and I know when I have incredible software that has a better experience that I can pull them across. So any community or marketplace, start on a Facebook group. It's the only real proof that people will do it. Secondly, if you have a consumer product idea, whether it's software or a physical product, create a fake Facebook account, come up with a fake name, even if you've got a name you want to use a fake one, and run ads to absolute strangers in maybe a different city. You can choose Perth or Tasmania, you can go anywhere outside of the main cities in Australia. Choose a market and run ads to them to get the customer to pre-register for your product. There's a whole bunch of IP around how you actually do that, but from a high level, if you can't get strangers to pre-register and just give you their email and name or maybe their phone number, how are you actually going to sell the product when it launches or get them to download your app or sign up on your website? It's very easy to get their data. It's very quick for them. And if you can't do that, you're really going to struggle when you launch. So running these ads to a non-biased audience, as you can see, is a lot more effective than just getting your friends to say that you've got an awesome idea, which no investor will care about. Last tip, if the idea that you've got is about servicing a business, so your customer is actually a business, not a general consumer, go and sign up your first client. You don't need a product to do this. So there's a term we use called a letter of intent in the startup space. It's just a simple letter where the business is saying that they're agreeing to trial your product once it launches. You certainly don't need your product built to get it done, but of course things like having a strong brand, having maybe a fake prototype of the software can help. So some design things to show off can certainly help, but you certainly don't need to build your product. And go sign up your first client. Jump on the phone, do some cold calls, ask for introductions from your friends. Go and sign that first client, and it's not that difficult to then raise your first round of investment on the back end of the fact that you've signed up a customer. If you can't sign up a customer on the concept, then you're going to struggle once you go to the effort of building the product. So that's a few tips. These are little experiments that we like to run. There's a lot of them that you can do, but these three come up quite often. So go out there and actually validate your idea.